Hi, my friends and family. I'm Trey, and this is my YouTube and Odyssey channel, Trey's Myths and Tunes. And today, my talk is called Ending God's Amnesia from Within. Evil is just based in bullshit. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Evil is just made out of fake ideas. Evil is just based in bullshit. Cause everything is in the oneness. So come on, Irene, stop acting so mean. Now can't you see, you know that we got. I'm so Irene, like I gotta be. Oh, can't you fucking see, cause you know that I got. But I wouldn't worry about me. So don't you worry about me. I ain't worried about me. So don't be worried about me. My time coming any day. Don't worry about me, no. Been so long that I've felt this way. And time sure passes way too quick, yo. California, reaching on the burning shore. Like an angel, standing in a shaft of light. You know I gotta shine. So don't worry about me, no. No, I don't worry about me, no. No. Ending God's amnesia from within. Who is the real creator? The sun has always been the symbol of creation to the Egyptians and Christians and the Abrahamic religions. And of course, it is a symbol and a part. But it chose, or the soul, Helios, and the matter earth chose to experience moments, astrological moments of themselves in certain places in time, which create the astrological birth chart and the psychological character known as you. So you are a ray of the holy, sacred Christ, Christos, having a temporary experience in a fleshy clay suit. However, we have the system of the demiurge, as I've said before, the prison planet reincarnation, ancient machinery, death trap, Saturn moon matrix reincarnation cycle machine, which includes a memory wipe every lifetime. So I could only have extremely vague memories or musical talent, etc., certain tendencies stemming from past lives with no memory of them, basically. So gnosis is another word for wisdom, is where you, if you are a spiritualist such as me, you learn to connect the threads of your multidimensional bodies in your many lifetimes. So then we have the subject of the veil of forgetfulness and knowingness, right? So a lot of this veil, this memory wipe, is so that you will be a slave and a source of food for these interdimensional parasites. But with knowingness, you can begin to learn the truth and how to heal it. And it's painful and hard and difficult process that it is. Reincarnating into slave families until the second coming of Christ. Now, God has amnesia in every person who's still asleep. Okay? Just like the Master Yeshua the Christ said, the Holy Ghost is within us all, but as long as you still believe the dogma of the religion, mainstream media, it's all satanic. So you're still asleep. If you're in obedience to the mainstream narrative, slavery and mind control programs, and of course the grand experiment, the grand extreme globalist experiment on all those that were willing to participate are were afraid to lose their job or schooling. It's hard to say what's going to happen with those fragments of God. Through ancient holographic inserts or false beliefs is another word for this. Your beliefs, if you believe any religious cult or dogma from mainstream religious, from the church or the government, it's almost too easy for these parasites and aliens to insert retarded or violent thoughts and subconsciously in sideways through your dogmas, your opinions, through the feudal system of having to come up with the rent every month or the insane property tax in the Santa Cruz County, California example. The feudal system of serfdom, I wrote down, rent, taxes, and mortgage, or legal theft is what Mark Passio would say it is, even though he pays into it and he says, well, we have to do it until we can move. I think we all need to move past it collectively to community somewhere in the next few years. That's what we're going to see, or either that or Klaus Schwab's going to try to force us all into the crazy line, and that both simultaneously. The bifurcation includes both happening simultaneously until the dark are really let go of, as far as until 51% realize it's insane. Okay, so we have this legalized insane violence of war, plunder, guilt, the inverted church doctrine, pedophile priest, the Cathar. Here we have Christian churches with the rainbow flag on it. But then on the other extreme, we have the Cathar massacres, where they killed off a whole nation of real Gnostic Christians a long time ago around the area of France. The Salem burning of the witches for people who chose witch. Some of them were doing crazy black magic, but only a very tiny amount. Mostly it was people who were gypsies, people like me, people who decided what they believed or were thought to be weird, got burned. Of course, those people were all surely possessed by the dark being. So the people who did the burning. So people we terrified out of choice and awareness and fear programs. Okay, for the example, all that happened in the year 2020 is an extreme example. Nothing does not have the real creator in it. But yet, the insertion of the AI black goo, a very long, thousands or millions of years ago, when they smashed asteroids into the planet with the evil AI black goo, was the beginning of the Draco infiltration, and they programmed the selenite crystals, massive selenite crystals in the earth. They brought in the Draco infiltration in religions, the mainstream media. So people have been conditioned into the overt satanic lie of moral relativity. In other words, it's okay to kill for the government in a war. It's okay to rape a 12-year-old boy if you're wealthy. If you happen to, because they just made a law last year, the governor signed in California, that if you happen to be lucky enough to get that corrupt judge, then it's okay. Okay, for example, that's moral relativity to an extreme. How sick it is. The narcissistic abuse coming from, if you get another judge who's more respectful to that 12-year-old, then they're going to throw the book at you. The narcissistic abuse coming from or leading to solipsism. In other words, sometimes people become narcissistic because they don't even know if they can trust anyone else, or if they really exist, and they only are sure that they exist. I mean, often, like as in the case with this cat I live with, it leads to one feeling that way about others. So then you have exploitation, or in that case, I had to deal with an extortion racket, and so hybridization. This is what's happened to this person, where the thoughts of the dark ones, or the narcissistic predator entities, get so superimposed over the whole lifetime. The fixed zodiac signs, they start to believe that they are that predator spirit. It's quite sad, or they're not even aware it's in them. This has been happening for thousands of years, leading to this attempted planetary AI takeover, which happened in 2020, still happening, because the majority of people have accepted the insane dogma of the parasitic dark races, the evil aliens, and the soullessness, godlessness of their ways of teaching. And you know what? Even with them, even with Bill Gates, there is no such thing. There's at least a tiny thread of the Creator in all beings, because they would not have been bipedal, even if they're reptilian. They wouldn't have 2 legs and 2 hands if the Creator didn't give them at least those who have the ability to discern or use a mind, to remember I am, remain in the oneness, of course. Remain in an aware vibration is the key, you know? So what can you do to remember the Holy Ghost or the original creator I am that I am within you after all this hijack attempt to make you a slave through the demiurgic death reincarnation cycle and the rent and the mortgage? Well, you can dance, you can write, you can sing, or you can compose, try to write a song, make up a melody, you know. Anything that's harmless that you can do that's creative will help you to remember. As I say, it's an Aboriginal commandment to be yourself. You can make love with someone you're totally in love with, you know. Reproduce with someone if you're in hierogamic union with them and it's not going to be abusive to that child or that person. Good luck with that these days. You might have to homeschool. So, i.e., in other words, create in harmlessness or Hamza. As morality or your real self, love and respect. You almost never see it in the media, huh? If you do, for example, when Kanye spoke out against, or he spoke a certain truth about a certain race, or Dave Chappelle refusing to wear a tutu, lost his millions of dollars contract. You get eliminated or blackballed for telling the truth, okay? I.e., the results are that people no longer believe in truths through this insane media. You know, the mainstream media is run by the dark side, so they only believe in lies. Majority, over 60, Mark Passio says over 2/3 of the people he surveyed in Philadelphia believe in moral relativity. It's insane. So remember the original, respectful, divine creator and choose to experience life as you in remember that the original, respectful, divine creator chose to experience life as you in all these separate bodies. It's the key. It's hard to think of it, but that's what happened. So, but the powerful, dark, anti-life beings put this thing on this machine, huge machine the size of the Earth on Saturn, and drug the moon over here. It's a fake moon, by the way, and brought it over here over the war to set up this huge, ancient, powerful machine. And the powerful, dark, anti-life beings put all their intense and extensive illusionary architecture and black magic into these cages and arbitrary rules. In other words, man's laws, which are often contradictory and incoherent. Okay? They don't make any sense when you look at it, and that's moral relativity for you. Each state, I consider all 50 United States are psychologically my 50 different children with different personalities because they all have different laws. And often 100% immoral man-made laws. Like you have to, for example, if you live in Santa Cruz County, if you're not wealthy, you have to live just for your box. That's why they call it a wage slave. So through awakenings and even more often through extreme trauma, for example, the 2020 narratives of the devil traumatizing the whole world and saying, you want more? For example, you notice the entire mainstream media and government is mostly hijacked, totalitarian, Nazi, Zionist, Satanist. Okay, it's blatantly obvious these days. The fake, inverted, negative aliens awakened many that they were there who were in denial by the attempted planetary lockdown. But you have to know, you have to understand how to learn true morality, moral and common law, or karmic law has two pillars. The sacred masculine, or you're being willing to do what I'm doing now and defend yourself and harmlessly, hopefully, and the sacred feminine principle, which is to not hurt anyone else's person or stuff or even yourself. Okay, you can create or do anything helpful to creation and harmless to moral law. You will eventually become a free, fleshy ray of God's divine light in action when you learn to practice harmlessness and morality instead of moral relativity and creativity. To step into the fourth dimension, in the fifth dimension, in the sixth dimension, to remember your real true self, you must learn to be on time, above time, below time, transcending time and timeless simultaneously, because you'll finally realize you have always been a ray of God's Christ manifest in divine light, a timeless fractal or miniature universe, or bonsai God flower experiencing itself. To do this, you must have fourth and fifth dimensional sight to see little me in full harmony with the long-range view of your life as the Almighty working within you. If you enjoyed this, click subscribe and the notification bell for more, and create a great day, my family. God, I am that I am. I love you, Goddess.